Hi and good morning everyone. My name is Natapon Aralaki Chop and my group members include Sim Peijing, Chamesi, Pang Siweng, and Not Hana would like to present about the assignment of sustainable development with the title of Solution for Post-Consumer Plastic. Okay, for introduction, plastic are made up of synthetic organic polymer and are commonly used in different applications, for instance, water bottle, clothes, food packaging, medical supplies, electric products, and construction materials. Okay, in the beginning, plastic was initially believed that it's harmless and inert. However, the improper way to dispose the plastic into the environment has led to diverse associated problems. The environment pollution by plastic waste nowadays has been recognized widely to be a major environment burden. Okay, this slide is talking about the problem statement. The first problem statement is chemical additives that give plastic product desirable performance properties also have negative environment and human health effects. And the second one is manufacturing polyethylene terephthalate, or we call it PET resin, generates more toxic emissions. Okay, and the last one is environment pollution caused by waste PET disposal.
The first objective in these assessments is to use system thinking to identify the impacts of plastic use. The second objective is to evaluate the environmental impact of PET by using life cycle assessment technique. And the third objective is to develop a plastic pollution reduction plan. Through the system thinking approach of plastic use, we are able to identify the plastic problem in the production problems, and the plastics usually made from the raw material like petroleum and natural gas, and these polymerization process are contributed to the oil dependency. The second plastic problem is landfill disposal, and the plastic usually winds up in landfills and cannot break into the pieces. And the third one is the contaminations. The fourth one is the incinerations, and the fifth is the plastic recycling problem. And very few plastics are able to be recycled, and usually most common recycled plastic are the polyethylene. And the last one is marine pollution problem.
Hi, I'm Sim Jin. Now I'm going to present the impact of plastic use. Plastic has brought many side effects to environmental problems, and what are these problems? First is air pollution. Global warming is a central threat to today's society, which is caused by greenhouse gas emission. Due to global warming, the temperature of the earth will continue to rise. This means in the future, the iceberg melts, the sea level rise, and temperature in this world change. The root cause of global warming is carbon dioxide emission, and this is mainly caused by burning plastic. Second, water pollution. Plastic bring tremendous effect to marine environmental. A study in December of 2014 has derived that 5.25 trillion plastic particles are floating on the surface of sea. Many sea creatures eat plastic because they think plastic are food, and this had harmed billions of aquatic life. Therefore, in the future, it will be unable to intake anything from sea because all the sea creatures may get effect from plastic waste in the water. Next, the third impact is soil pollution. When plastic is dumped in landfills, it interacts with water and forms hazardous chemicals. When these chemicals sweep underground, they degrade the water quality. The wind will carry this deposit plastic from one place to another, and this increases the land litter. So the exposure to plastic is linked to many health concerns that affecting people around the world. After that is down cycle. The process of melting and recycling plastic produces volatile organic compound. Fuel that can harm plant and animal life near the industrial site. The heat need to melt plastic also generate carbon emission, which contribute to global warming. Fuel. Making plastic release carbon dioxide, both transporting the crude oil to make it and disposing of the plastic by incineration generate emission. The arise from carbon dioxide emission link the production and transporting plastic. Moreover, the expanding plastic production by turn plastic into oil and use it to generate electricity or heat will result highly impact of carbon dioxide emission. Therefore, in the future, the carbon dioxide emission is expected to triple metric tons compared to now. The last is alternative material. Since oil-based plastic have brought many side effects to environmental, therefore people try to use alternate material to make the plastic. For example, sugar cane or corns. And we also call it biodegradable plastic. Biodegradable plastic could reduce the adverse environmental impact of plastic by reducing their environmental footprint, while the biodegradable plastic may also have unintended consequences. In particular, if the degradation of biodegradable plastic is incomplete, it will cause and increase the dispersion of micron plastic fragments into environmental. Next, this is life cycle of plastic. At the beginning of the manufacturing process, oil is extracted from the earth. Then the oil is made into pellets and form the basic of plastic manufacturing. The pellets are melted into plastic and the plastic product is produced. Next, the plastic product is transported to store. After people purchase it, use it, and dispose it, lastly, the majority of the used plastic will end up in the environment and in landfill, and they take up to 1,000 years to start to break down. And so this is the life cycle of plastic. Okay, now I'm going to pass the life cycle assessment of the impact of recycling plastic to Chiamesi.
Hi, my name is Chiamesi. This is the life cycle assessment of impact of recycling plastic. As Peijing has explained about the life cycle of plastic, the disposal of plastic brings many impacts. Therefore, people start to reduce the impacts by recycling the plastic. So now I'm going to evaluate the recycling process of the plastic and the impact of it. First, the collecting of used plastic will result in vehicle emission to the environment. Then the plastic is compacting and sorting. While in the sorting process, it will result the air emission. After that, it will go into reprocessing process. During this process, the process waste will dispose to the landfill and some will be the fuel to generate energy. This whole process will give out air and water emission to the environment. Therefore, recycling plastic was not the best solution in reduce the environmental pollution. The plastic pollution reduction plans. The first is change in the product design, such as through the use of alternative material in the place of plastic could reduce the production use and disposal of plastic in the first instance. Second, change in the design practice, such as through product lightweighting, could also help to prevent the generation of plastic waste. Shifting towards bio-based or biodegradable plastic could reduce the adverse of environmental impacts of plastic more directly by reducing their environmental footprint. The second is better waste management system. By facilitating the higher waste collection and recycling rates, will allow waste plastic to be captured before they begin creating problems in the natural environment. Clean up and remediation activities, such as beach clean ups and technology to collect plastic from ocean, and it will allow the removal of plastic already in the natural environments. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurhana binti Abdul Razak and I will explain about Malaysia policy on plastic waste. The construction of recycling plant solid waste is subjected to the environmental quality prescribed activities environmental impact assessment order 2015 under activity 14B Roman 2, any person who intends to carry out the activity is required to submit a report on the EIA to the DG of Environment for consideration, as mentioned under Section 34A of the Environmental Quality Act 1974. Number 2, Department of Environment DOE only allows premises that fully comply with the Environmental Quality Act EQA 1974 to import plastic waste to be recycled at their premises. Plastic waste is controlled item under Solid Waste and Public Cleansing Management Act 2007, Act 600 and 72 by the Department of National Solid Waste Management, the importation of plastic waste under the HS Code 3915 is controlled under the Custom Prohibition of Import Order 2017, which the import manner required an approved permit from the DNSWM, the Department of National Solid Waste Management. DOE, as the focal point to the Basel Convention, has transmitted information to the Secretariat of the Basel Convention on the controlling of plastic waste that requires special consideration. Example, approved permit requirement when subjected to transboundary movement. In conclusion, the rapidly growing plastic production, use of plastic, and improper way to dispose plastic bring many side effects to environmental. There are many ways have been taken to overcome these issues, but also are associated with risk and costs. Therefore, say no to plastic to protect our environment. Thank you.